Felt really good to get back in the win column. I thought it was a great week for us to kind of get some confidence, knock down some shots. Thought we were really good in our defense and our press. So I thought that last week was a great opportunity for us to kind of, um, get our confidence back of how we play. I think I saw like a different type of energy in our girls once we got a win. I think the biggest thing for us last week was we just needed a win and just to feel good again. And I feel like the girls are feeling pretty good right now. We had a light practice yesterday. We usually don't because Sundays are usually our off day. So we had like a little light practice, kind of going through some scheme stuff for our game tomorrow. But we'll get after it today, and just really excited about the opportunity that we have this week to finish off our last two games at home.
What's going on, Coach?
What's up, Charles?
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just talk about what the team has learned after those three losses in a row.
I think that sometimes, when you have a team that's doing well, sometimes you don't face adversity. And in my opinion, you hate losing those two games because it knocks you out of first place. And now you're trying to fight and claw to work your way back into it. But, I think that the adversity was good for us. I thought that we learned some things about ourselves that we didn't quite know. And so we've kind of taken these last 2 to 3 weeks to kind of talk about some things that we needed to be better at, demeanor wise, mindset wise, the way we play. We just kind of learned some lessons that we hadn't learned throughout the season. So, I think they kind of came at the right time to learn some of the things we needed to learn. And I think we're going to be able to apply that to this week and then most importantly next week. So, I think we still have a chance. If we're able to take care of business tomorrow and Georgia Southern is able to drop one, then we still tie for regular season championships, which is still the goal for us. So it's all about us taking care of our business, and then we'll see what happens.
You set the single season turnover record, the single season steals record on this road trip. I know you don't really have time to process that in the middle of the season, but those are two pretty significant marks to set for the year.
Yeah, I just think it's cool because we had last year's team who did things that never been done before, and then we have a new team that is constantly hearing about last year's team. So I'm sure they're been sick of that. But I finally got to tell them, hey, you've done things that they haven't done, and you're still capable of doing things that they haven't done. So just really proud of this team. I think that from day one, when we saw our athleticism and just the length of some of our players, we felt like our press could be way better. So just really proud of our girls, and we still have an opportunity to turn people over even more and make it really tough for any other team to beat that record.
Well, last year was a team of first. Do you have a nickname for this team yet?
Uh, you put me on the spot. Team of first times too. I don't know, but because this team is actually a team of first too. Like we're doing some things that's never been done before. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that and try to figure out a name for them. But this year has just been so different from last year because this team just has they just have more capabilities. And I think I've probably been more frustrated with this group because of that. And sometimes I don't think they realize how good they are. And it's just like trying to pull it out of them. But I love this team. And I think that we're in good spirits right now. And, what better way to take on a really tough game than at home? So we're excited about that.
Coach, what kind of adjustments do you need to make from the first game against Troy? I know you mentioned a while back that you'd have a different game plan for them when they, to counter some of the things that they were doing.
Well, what we have to understand is the way that we play, it 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 uh it allows their strengths to be on display, which is transition. They're really good in transition, almost unstoppable in transition, to be honest. So the biggest thing for us is our shot selection was very poor. We took horrible shots, and those horrible shots were the first pass to their transition. They played in transition the whole game. We didn't make them guard us really at all. So The adjustment is offensively, we got to do a much better job of taking better shots. We can't take bad shots. And then defensively, we have to do a much better job of getting matched up in our press. We didn't really have a whole lot of sense of urgency then. Um, and I think that they punked us. That's the bottom line. They punked us that game. So we watched that film after that game. We watched the film yesterday. We're going to watch it again today. And I think that our players will play a lot better. I think we're a better team now. I think that our demeanor is a lot better when we get in those situations. And the bottom line is we got to play better and we got to be tough because they're a tough team. Obviously, they're playing for a championship, so they're going to play really hard. They're going to be locked in. So it's on us to play better and to not take horrible shots and to make sure we get matched up really well in transition.
You held Lafayette to 0 makes from three. I mean, you've been really good at guarding the three this year. What's elevated this team in regards to just defending the perimeter?
I think that we do a really good job of when you break our press, we chase you down. So that can kind of force you into a rush shot, um, which is a low percentage shot. And then in the half court, we're going to get up and pressure you. So it's going to be really hard for you to kind of get those shots off. So we have to be even better tomorrow against Troy because they have some players that can really shoot it. So we'll know who their shooters are and we'll make sure that we get out to those. But again, Troy is a great team. They're going to make some shots. It's on us not to drop our head when they go on their runs because they're going to. So when they go on a run, we have to be tough enough to respond with our own run. So I think tomorrow is about who can be the best in their system. While our systems may look similar, they're completely different. So it's all about who can be the best in their system and who can be the toughest team tomorrow.
I mean, the last two are at the crib. I mean, what's the message? Excuse me. What's the message to the fan base?
I mean, obviously, we need everybody to be there. We're still competing for a championship. So, it's a doubleheader. You get to see both teams play. Don't use the excuse of y'all play at 5, so we can't make it at 5. Like, show up and support these young women, their last 2 games. We got 22 wins on the season. That hadn't happened in a while. You got a team that's competing for a championship and will be in a position to compete for another championship at the tournament next week. And I just think that if you don't get eyes on this team, I think you're going to miss out on something really, really special at Arkansas State and something that's going to continue to be hard to do every single year. Come out, support these young women. They work their tails off every day and you help us win. If you come and you support us and you're loud, you help us win those games. And we really need to meet both of these opposing teams with great crowds.
There's still, a lot of scenarios at play with when you're going to start in Pensacola, but with this team and the way that they play, does it matter if it's 3 games or 2 games in 2 days?
Not at all. I'm so happy we went to the Bahamas because this team got to experience tournament play. And I thought that honestly, that was the best we played was in the Bahamas. And it was tournament style. It was back to back, quick prep. You only had 30 minutes to warm up. And I thought that we really thrived. The way that we play is set up for tournament style because we're not going to play our players over 20, 25 minutes. So, and the way that we practice prepares them for that as well. So whether it's 2 games, 3 games, we'll be fine. We'll be in a position where we can compete.